I appreciate the time that you're taking to watch this video. Now, this is going to be a continuation to my SQL injection series, and we are going to be working on this lab, which is SQL injection attack, querying the database type and the version on Oracle. So if you go on and you tap on this, you'll be redirected to a link like this, and this is where we are going to access our lab. But before we start, in case you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. You can also give a thumbs up to this video. You'll be enjoying a ton of content in the form of videos. So here, just go on and click to access lab. You'll be taken to a new page. This is where we are going to go on and we start performing our SQL injection attack. As the page is loading up, let's first come back and we read through the documentation on this lab. So they go on and tell us that this lab contains our SQL injection vulnerability in the product category filter. You can use a union attack to retrieve the result from an injected query. To solve this lab, we need to go on and display the version string. So to come back this side, if we come here, this is our application and this is what we need to display so that this lab is solved. Now this is the category filter. If we go on and we tap on any of these, you'll be able to see that all the products are going to go on and change. So we need to test and see whether this is vulnerable to SQL injection. So I'm going to just come here up in our URL. You see here we have category equals lifestyle, whereby they told us that the category is the one that is vulnerable. So if I come at the end of our category, I'm going to just put a single quote and press enter. Let's see what will happen to our application. So we already have an internal server error, whereby we are getting an error that is being submitted to the application. That's why we are receiving this. Now you already seen this in our previous videos and I bet you already understand it is. So now since we are sure that this is vulnerable to our SQL injection, we need to go on and first understand how many columns and also understand the data types that are being called by the application. Then later we see if we can understand the version of this Oracle database. Once again, I'm going to come back here to my URL. I'm going to provide a single quote, then space plus the comment, which is just a dash dash. So if we press enter, let's see, do you see that now this one has executed successfully? Simply we have our vulnerability within this category filter. So to understand the columns that are being called out by our application, we can do it in multiple ways, but the easiest way is to go on when we are to use order by. Simply it is going to be just like this, providing a single quote, then you can just say order by, then we can provide one. Perhaps we can go on and comment this out. So if we go on and we submit this to our application, and if we have this column present, they will go on and sort it. So this is where we can either inject this in our URL or we can use a proxy like BAP. Since BAP takes long to open up on my machine, I already opened this on my computer. So I'm going to just go on and copy this and we come to our BAP suite. But before even I switch, I must make sure that I come and activate my Fox proxy, activate on your BAP. So if we come back this side, I'm going to go on and come to my BAP, come to proxy, and we are going to go on and turn on our interceptor. So it means whatever we shall be doing the other side is going to be intercepted by our BAP suite. So I'm going to come back this side. Perhaps let me go on and click on pets. Let's see if this is going to be grabbed. Right away you see that has been grabbed by our BAP suite. I'm going to just go on and forward this. I need to find another one, or we can just go on and we sort out this list. Just come here to our proxy settings and just come here to put a tick here, so to sort the ones in our target, and also I'm going to get this one in our target. So if I close it out, now if we come back here to our HTTPS, I don't see anything here. But if we go back to our interceptor, I'm going to just come to advanced so that we can submit, and we put this as our target. So if I submitted that and it wasn't submitted successfully, but let's come back here to our BAP suite and we see our XML, which is this one. Now I'm going to just right click to this and say add scope. This time our system will only be seeing this, and I'm going to again right click to this and I'm going to send this to our repeater. So coming to our repeater, since we are going to be submitting a couple of content, we are going to be using this. So to find the number of columns, we need to just go on and we add on our order by. I'm going to just go on and put a single quote, then let's say order by 1. Then we make sure that you provide a comment at the end. I'm going to highlight this towards our dashes and I'm going to press Ctrl U so that we do our URL encode. Then I'm going to come back here and press on send. We are going to see the response that has been sent here. So we have a 500 internal server error and we need to go on and fix this. So I'm going to come back this side, put a space, then I'm going to highlight this again and Ctrl U. Let me hope I won't have Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, or let me go on and write them again. So it's going to be a single quote, then we say order by, we are going to say order by 1, then space, provide your comments. Let's go on and highlight this, press our Ctrl U, then we do send. So if we submit that, you see that this time we have our 200 OK. That is a status code that we've received currently. Previously, I didn't provide a space between our order by. That's why we received a 500 status code. So we have our 200 OK. Let me just go on and change this 1 to 2 and see what we shall receive. So if we have our first column, it is going to be sorted. That's why we received the 200 OK. Now if I put a 2 and we submit that, if we have a second column, is going to be sorted too, and this one we have also a 200 OK status code. Now let me go on and add on a 3 and we submitted that, and this time we have a 500. Let me also perhaps go to a 4 and again send it at. Let's see. So you see that if I do 3 and 4, we receive 500 status code, and with 1 and 2 we have our 200 status code, which means that we have 2 columns that are being called by our application. So after understanding the number of columns, we need to understand the data types that these columns have so that we shall be able to call out our version. So coming back this side, if you want to understand the data type, here we are going to be using the union based attack, whereby we are going to provide a single quote, and this time you are going to just say union. So union select, then this is where we are going to can try with a, come here, put a comma space, we can provide another a, then at the end we need to go on and comment out our data with just our dashes. So in the previous videos, this is what we were using to provide our data types, but if we try it here, it is going to bring back an error. So I'm going to just copy that. Let's come back here to our BAP suite. I'm going to remove these and we paste our union attack. So if I highlight this again and I press Ctrl U, now if we submit this, we shall see that we shall receive a 500 status code. So with our union attack, if we are working with a Oracle version, we need to go on and provide a from and the table where that information is going to be got from. So when we are to deal with this and we are not sure of any table that is present in the side, this is where we can use a dual table, whereby this has a single column which is called dummy, and we can use that to see if we can return back our data. So if we come to the lab and we come here to hint, and you see that here we have our SQL injection cheat sheet. Perhaps we can even use that, and here they go on and also tell us that we can use this dual. So if we are to come back here to our Obsidian to rate our documentation, now since we don't know any table present on this is where the dual is going to be used, because it is in our schemas table. So here we need to go on and provide our from in the second SQL statement in Oracle has to be provided with a table where the information is going to be got from. So if we go on and we say from dual, I just missed a D, then we can just proceed to comment out this. Now in case this works successfully, we shall be able to perhaps get back our data and understand whether this has whether strings or it has numeric values. So if I come back, remove this, and I'm going to paste what we copied from the other side. Once again, I'm going to go on and highlight this with our Control U to perform our URL encode. Then I'm going to submit this. So in case it is perfect, we shall see what will be returned back. So again, I have the internal server error. Let's come back and look at our command. So which is select, we have a single quote from our dual. Now if we look at our application, our statement is perfect. Where could the problem be coming from? Let's come back here to our Burp Suite and let's look at our code. And this is where the problem is. We have two double quotes here, or single quotes. I'm going to remove one, then let me go on and submit this again and see whether this is solved. Once again, we have our 200 OK status code. Let's try to scroll down this side and see whether our these are strings, if they were displayed in our web page, or we can go on and we do a render here so that we can see if they are perfect. I guess they could either display them on top or at the end. So let's go down and we have our AA, or I can just come here, tap on render. Perhaps if you want to see our GUI, you'll be able to see it here, or we can just go on and inject this in our URL up here, and we shall be able to see the AAs at the end. So now, since we know that we have our strings as the data type, and we know that we have two columns that are being called from the database, so we can proceed to getting the version of this Oracle database. So when we come back to my Obsidian, I have this cheat sheet which can show you a couple of techniques on how you can carry out different database versions. If we come here to the database version, if we are to work on an Oracle, this is what we shall be writing, which is select banner from our $$ version. So if you want to get this cheat sheet, once again, if we come back to our lab, if you remember here on int, we do have this SQL injection cheat sheet. So if we tap on that, we shall be redirected to our cheat sheet and you'll be able to see it perfectly. And this is the cheat sheet once again that we shall look at. And if we come to our database version, you'll be able to see on how we can call out the version in our Oracle database. I'm going to move back to our lab so that we can proceed to solving up this. So if we come here to access our lab, this was closed. Let me hope we are not going to go back, but even though we do, we already know the steps. So our lab was accessed, so let's go on and proceed to now finding the version. going to just right click to this and open up in a new tab. So if we come back here to our BAP suite, now we need to get the version. So this is the render that was performed, and again if you scroll to the bottom, you'll be able to see the AA. So let's just come back here to our pretty. So let's go on and get our version. To get our version, we saw it in our cheat sheet. Simply it is select banner from $V version. So this is how it is going to look like. With our union attack, you are going to just say union. Then let's go on and say select. Since we have 2 columns, I can just go on and say our V version. So this is select banner, the banner, then from where. Now since we have 2 columns, it's not going to only be our banner. We are going to just put a comma. Perhaps the second column we can just go on and provide a null value. Then this is going to be just a V, a dollar, and our version. So let's first scroll up and we see whether it is the same. So if we come back to our version, which is this one, select banner from V version, and this is what I've crafted, which is to union select banner, comma, the null, which will represent our second column. Then for our V version, don't forget to provide your comment. So I'm going to just go on and highlight this, copy it. We are going to go on and inject that in our BAP suite. So coming back here, I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to go on and paste my injection. Then let's go on and highlight this, and we perform our URL encode. So I'm going to just go on and copy that, press my Ctrl U, then let me submit this. So if we submit that, we have a 200 OK status code, and I guess if we come back to our lab, it should be solved. And I'm going to refresh, let's see. And since we still have our proxy on, I'm going to just say forward, and you see we have our lab is solved and our version was retrieved. We should be able to either say somewhere, or if we come back to our BAP suite with our repeater. So if we scroll down at the bottom somewhere, do you see that this is the message, this is the hint which they wanted us to display. And if we scroll down, we should be able to see the version of our Oracle database, and I see this, and yeah, down it isn't here, this is the version. I see Linux, and if we come again here, we have these, we have that version of our Oracle. So we managed to solve this lab, and we are going to be working on another lab in our SQL injection series. Once again, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up as a way of empowering me to create more videos. I'll see you in the next video.